quick tip about putting yourself out there when it comes to your brand, your business, your philosophy, whatever you want to be known for, whatever you want people to recognize you for, however you want to make money. A lot of people think that they're not going to be able to get their foot in the door or get started at what they do because they don't know anybody, or nobody knows them, or they don't have the right information or the right connections, or you're not from the right place, or you're not at the right place. And understand something. First of all, let's be clear. Relationships will help you do business a whole lot. A lot of relationships and a lot of connections have helped me do a whole lot of business, helped me make certain connections, helped me get to certain places, helped me get my feet into certain doors that I had not been in up until that point. But there's something else that you need to understand. The other side of this equation that a lot of people don't talk about, don't ask about, and frankly, they never think about until it's too late. And it's this. Once you do have your foot in the door, or right when you're at the door and you're about to walk into that door, there's something else that you need to have in place in order for that door to be open for you, or for you to have the ability to kick that door down, or for you to have the ability to stay in the room once you do get your foot in the door. And it's this. You got to have your game together, your skills, your value, whatever that value is going to be, whatever it is you're going to offer, you need to have that in place already before you get on the phone with that person who might be able to put you in a better place. Before you walk into, for example, in sports, before you walk in that gym in front of all those decision makers who could maybe scout you or sign you to a contract, you got to have worked on your game before that, right? You can't just show up and then say, oh yeah, all right, give me 6 months so I can practice and then let's meet again. No, you got to be ready that day. When you get on the phone with a reporter or someone who wants to interview you, or maybe you could get featured on a website or in a magazine, or maybe get yourself a job in a certain position or a certain title, or whatever it is you're looking for, you already got to have your material ready. You got to know what your talking points are. You got to know what your frameworks are. You got to know what your value is. You got to know how to tell your story in 60 seconds or less. You got to know how to answer the questions that you know are already coming. These things you have to already have taken care of before the opportunity presents itself. And a lot of times I hear from people who are saying things like, well, Dre, I need to know how to get started, how to get my foot in the door. I don't have the right contacts. I don't have the right connections. Then I'm looking at that person's material, and their material is not even in place. So even if they did have a connection, even if they did know how to get their foot in the door, they would get their ass kicked right out of the door as soon as they walked in, because they don't have their materials in place yet. So do you know what your frameworks are? Do you know what your value proposition is? Do you know who your audience is? Do you know who it's for? Do you know who it's not for? Can you tell me what are the steps that you're going to take people through? What are they going to get out of what it is that you're offering? Who have you offered it to already? Who have you helped? Do you have the testimonials? Do you have the case studies? Do you have the social proof of what you've done up to this point? All these materials have nothing to do with who you know. They have nothing to do with somebody giving you information. It has nothing to do with anybody putting you on. These are all things that you need to be doing for yourself before the opportunity occurs, and understand that these materials are what actually create the opportunity. So when I go to someone and tell them, hey, here's who I am, here's what I've done, here's what I've got, I'm showing them what I've already put together. I'm showing them the books that I've written. I'm showing them the articles I've done. I'm showing them the videos I've created. I've shown them the people who I've already helped. And then they say, okay, this guy looks credible. Let's take another look at him. Let's look a little bit deeper. Let's dig a little bit into what he has. And as they dig deeper, they're just going to see more credibility, more material, more value. And that's when the opportunity happens. So understand that it's not knowing the right people that you need to do first. What you need to do first is be the right person, which means have all your shit together. When all your shit's together, that's when everything pops off for you. Hopefully that's a helpful tip for you. Anybody got a question to that, or any follow-up to what I just said, or something that you want to add, please put it down here in the comments, and y'all know what it is. Work on your game. Dre all day.